I've seen so many fitness places come and go, coaches come and go, and I'm sure you've seen people and businesses try to enter a space that you're in, or not even the coffee space, but a lot of other spaces.
Yeah, yeah, no doubt. I think grit is like just the ability to stay in there longer than other people, because it's easy to give up when shit gets hard, and that's what people do, man. They got this like shiny object syndrome where what they're doing is difficult. They run into obstacles, they run into headwinds, and then they're like, oh, this is a better idea in another vertical. Let me go start that. It's always, when people ask me for advice, like it's always a big red flag when they're like, oh yeah, I'm the CEO of 3 startups. It's like, what? I don't have time to do one startup.
Right. Exactly. You hit the nail on the head there, talking about like the shiny object and everything like that. Brett Bartholomew, who's a coach in our industry, always just puts up some really good, insightful rants. And today he put something up there just about like, what's up with the people that just overlook the simple, just the simple stuff that's just daily communication, different outreach, just the things that make the engine kind of go. They overlook it for the instance because they're just scared to do the work every single day, right? It's mundane, right? What we do is mundane. It's almost the same stuff every single day with a small different vertical to it. But if you're sitting there trying to chase this shiny object or even find this lucky lottery ticket, like I'm gonna tell you what, like you're never gonna find it.
No, dude. And there's no silver bullet. I mean, we learned it at Supercoffee. The better we do, the harder we have to work. The more money we raise, the higher the valuation, like the more pressure is on, and it only gets harder. Like growth does not solve for chaos. Like it was chaotic when I met you 6 years ago. And every day since, it only gets more chaotic, So like, I think if you're trying to solve chaos, you're wrong, because chaos is necessary, right? And you kind of just have to embrace it.
Oh, without a doubt, man. And I'll tell you what, there's no more chaos in the world we're living in right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, I mean, that's why I love what you do and what we do, right? It's positive energy, it's ambition, it's optimism. Like the world needs positive energy now more than ever. Our new slogan, our new tagline, what we're about is just add something positive, right? Whether it's protein to your coffee or a smile to your friend, like add something positive to this world.
Yeah. So let's kickstart this. I mean, a whole bunch of newness in the world. As we kind of just like BS a little bit right before this, met you October, I think 10th, 2015. Lafayette at Georgetown, and I looked back at it. That was actually homecoming weekend at Georgetown. And you guys, I remember you guys. I mean, so specifically, I feel like off of the south end zone, you're slinging coffee out of a white truck. I believe so. I don't know where you borrowed it from, because I know you borrowed it from somewhere.
Right.
And the flavors I was looking at in the picture, because you came into Ambitious, it was 7 days later. Or no, it was October 22nd. So it was like within a week or two. You were like, yeah, let's go, man.
Let's go.
And it was cinnamon, mocha, and vanilla, I think, were the 3 original flavors.
R.I.P. cinnamon, man. I missed that flavor.
That was good. But what about black coffee? That's gone now too?
Yeah, dude, we had to get rid of the original. So we launched a cold brew in place of it. But what we found, I mean, people just weren't vibing with the coffee with protein without any flavors. America loves sweet. And so I don't know, that was a sad day, but now we're moving on to bigger and better. You might see in January 2022, you heard it here first, folks, cinnamon bun. We're bringing cinnamon back in coffee flavor, cinnamon bun. So that'll be exciting.
Nice, dude. Interested on that. Cinnamon was the go-to. Cinnamon, vanilla, mocha was the hierarchy there.
Yeah, dude. Remember that shit was refrigerated? I remember I used to carry like 6 cases down to the basement of Ambitious and just set it up. I was like, yo, get this in the fridge before it goes bad.
Exactly. Yeah. And I have pictures of that too. I'm gonna like cut right here and put in some old school pictures of us and you coming in and us working out and everything like that.
Yes, dude. I will. I'll send you. I have a couple from that day at Georgetown too. I'll send you.
Oh yes, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
that was October.
We did that
15.
race.
We did the race. Yeah, we had a little sample cell at the gym and everything like that. It was. Sweet. I mean, that was the beginning of things. That was October 2015. Met you. And you had just graduated earlier that year. Jake obviously was still in school because I was watching him play football and beat up on the Lehigh. And Jordan had just kind of recently dropped out, right? Or was like on the verge of. And
he dropped out 2 months before we met. Jordan was out.
Is that right?
Yeah.
That's amazing. You know, the crazy thing is I've never met him.
It's crazy. He might not even be real.
That's what you said it. I wasn't going to say it, but yeah. Actually, you know what? I take that back because I came over to your little launch party when you guys were over in Crystal City.
Yep.
And that
was a year later.
Was that in 16?
Yeah, that was a full year later because that's when we rebranded we went from refrigerated to shelf stable. So like with that new product, we really just wanted to introduce it to the world better.
Yeah, man. And it has. So that was 15, that was 16. And then just recently, the big news, you guys are valued at 500 mil.
Crazy, man. It's a
500 fucking mil. Congratulations, dude.
Dude, thank you. Thank you.
And you just raised over 100 mil into this new stack.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It's cool. I will say, like, what we're doing would be impossible without our investors. You know, we're not a profitable business, so the growth is really being fueled by that external capital. And what I'm most proud of about this round is we're taking 30 million of that 100 and we're buying out our first 23 investors. So like our aunt who put in 30 grand in 2015 is about to make $4 million.
You know, I wish you would have come to me asking for a little bit of money in the day. I was trying to throw money at you guys.
I gave you everything I had. I was like, here's some coffee, sir. Please take it.
I was like, let me give you some training. I mean, what can I do? Here's this.
Yeah. No, I remember we did some heavy deadlifts. You rolled out my back for me.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, congratulations. Awesome for her. What a hell of a return on her investment. She's super stoked.
She's pumped, man.
I mean, who wouldn't be, right? That's a hell of a return over, 4 years maybe?
Yeah, 5 years.
So that's happened. I mean, I think there's probably a lot of people that will watch this that hopefully don't know and will now know that you guys were on Shark Tank and you went in there and you didn't get a deal. No big deal, because you, I think, made so many new ventures with so many new people that you took that exposure and kind of ran with it, which probably helped at the beginning. But now I think just who you guys are and also the investors that you kind of got from that has just probably helped maybe even more in kind of like the growth and the values and the leadership and just the motivation of the company.
Yeah, dude. Shark Tank was awesome because it was one, it put an even bigger chip on our shoulder, right? We went on TV, we didn't get a deal. We all the sharks turned us down. We didn't even have an offer from Shark Tank, but it was good exposure. And what's funny about our world today is like reality TV and social media influence, like it's all validating. You know, at the end of the day, it doesn't mean shit, but it kind of does because people care, right? People listen and people watch it. So like we've Shark Tank was fine. Like we went on TV for 15 minutes on a Sunday night, but that 15-minute spotlight was nothing compared to how we've been leveraging it ever since. You know, 4 years later, we're talking about how we went on Shark Tank. We're building displays in stores that say as seen on Shark Tank. It's gotten us meetings with other investors that we never would have gotten if we hadn't had that opportunity. So like, and like anything in this world, it really is what you make it.
Exactly. And you mentioned investors a couple of times there, and you said you're going to be buying out the first 23.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yep.
So how many total investors are in Supercoffee right now?
Man, I'll have to take a look, but it's getting close to 200, you know, because back in the day, it was everything from $5,000 to $10,000 checks. You know, we would take money from whoever was willing to give it to us. And in this most recent round, we had the lead investor put in 55 million, you know, so our cap table ranges from 5,000 to 55 million.
That's amazing. I love it. It's just, I mean, but that's who you guys are. Right. I mean, but like the whole family has played sports, right? You guys are ultra competitive. Your mom is a beast. I've had the opportunity to meet her once, and then just to see her still like trying to do backflips off of boats and everything like that. I mean, thank God you guys all have like her DNA. I've never met your father, but so I can only speak to your mom. But I mean, with sports, of a Colgate quarterback in high school, all of the kind of grit has kind of got to come together to help drive the company, right? And also with
Yeah.
right.
No doubt, dude. And that's what we were just talking about a minute ago, with how simple this is. It's a very simple thing. It's not complicated. I'm not a technical guy. My brothers and I aren't in the top of our class. We all kind of had shitty grades. We were just good at sports. And it's the more product, like we have a product that people can taste and see and buy for $3. The more product you sell, the more shelves you have to stock. The more shelves you stock, the more product you sell. So it's this never ending cycle. And like we've gotten to this point really through will and brute force. And now we're leveling up our game as leaders and executives. We have coaches, and we've hired some amazing execs around us. So like this next phase is kind of like what got us here won't get us there. But everything we've learned in the weight room, on the field, on the court, has been the most relevant lessons. So all of your athletes watching this, any athletes, and an athlete is anybody who played a sport. I don't care if the last time you played was Little League. We all have bodies. We all need to be in motion. Those lessons of like hanging in there when it hurts, like that's how we're doing this. It's hurt for 6 years and we just haven't quit yet.
Right. Exactly. But I mean, the amount of people that have showed up and given you guys money have done nothing but, have done that because of who you guys are. You were a captain of your football team going into your last year. You've always been a natural leader on the field. And I read a quote from your coach at Colgate. Let's see if I can bring this up here real quick.
No way.
Yeah, it was great. He goes, when you define the role of a captain, he does it perfectly. As far as selling the Colgate football brand on campus in the community with alumni, he's done that. You can tell Colgate football is important to Jimmy. This year was cut short because of an off-season injury, but that never slowed his determination to be a good captain. He will continue to be a proud supporter of Colgate football, and he will go far in life. He's that type of kid.
Man,
put that on your wall.
That brings a tear to my eye. I love that you found that.
That coach saw that in you at a very early time. I don't know what the injury was, but it was off field. But you continue to show up and support your team and to be a leader.
Yeah, man. It's and you don't really realize it when you're in it. But like who I am today is like the same person who I was back then. I wanted to help others. I wanted to be my best version of myself, and that was constantly competing with me every day. If I PR'd in the weight room last week, I want to beat it this week. And I think it's that type of drive. We're so lucky to have the parents that we had. Like our mom is the happiest person I know, but also the toughest. Like she hangs in there. We didn't come from much, we were really on a shoestring budget. And I remember like, she was always coming up with games. Like we would play with sticks and mud in the backyard and we were the happiest family in the world. I was like, we don't need a trampoline or a basketball hoop, she was always finding the bright side in things. And I think that was, that's sort of what my coach saw too. Like there's always going to be a bright side,
Yeah. Yeah. I love it, man. I love the athletics and that quote especially, and the drive and the determination, the grit. You guys embodied that. So going from athletics, talk to me about fitness, because if anybody knows you, you hustle, not just like in the boardroom or in the office or serving drinks up at Whole Foods, wherever, but you hustle. I've had the opportunity to work out with you a couple of times, and you smoked me. So
get out of here, man.
Tell me about your fitness and nutrition and how that then plays into Supercoffee as well.
Yeah, dude. So nutrition has certainly evolved over the last 6 years, especially since you and I were hanging out. You and I first met when I was 4 months out of college football. I just graduated, and college football is a very specific regimen, specific routine, heavy weights, big diet, sort of eat whatever you want, put on weight, low reps, heavy weight, that type of thing. And I just didn't need to do that anymore. So over the years, I've evolved into more endurance, lighter reps, lighter weight, more reps, that type of thing, but still always a combination of like cardio and weight training. But my nutrition is probably what's evolved the most, because like we have a high metabolisms. You know, our mom's a tiny little thing, and in college I could eat whatever I wanted to. You know, and in order to gain weight, I had to eat a full pizza washed down with a half a gallon of chocolate milk. You know, if I did that today, I'd be in a coma. And, and so I got smart on my carbs. I got smart on the types of meats and cheeses and fish and things that I'm putting in my body. Basically, I do a pretty low carb diet with that's high fat, not necessarily keto. I've experimented with keto. It makes me feel good for a couple of weeks at a time, good reset for the system, but keeping the carbs low, especially on off days. But fitness, dude, like the harder I train, the better I perform at work, you know, and we just moved down to Austin, Texas in December of 2020. It's always nice out down here. It's a very active community. I've been training more now than I ever have, and I feel great, you know, and the business has been busier than it's ever been. So like, I think it's I don't know. It's like kind of give the work to the busiest person in the room, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I see you, where you train over at Ladder now. Is that right?
Yeah. My buddy owns Ladder, sort of a social fitness app in their main studios down here. So we'll work out there a couple times a week. There's some cool gyms. I'll tell you, dude, Austin, Texas is ripe for an ambitious athletics. There's not really a niche fitness community here yet, you know, like versus in New York where there's a bunch of boutique studios, or in LA where there's a bunch of concepts and group classes and things like that.
I mean, if you have some room behind that new building of yours, if you have, you know, 2,000 or 3,000 square feet, we can make it happen.
Oh, dude, done deal. I got to show you the executive weight room.
Yes, please. That's awesome. So you also competed. What was was it the decathlon that we did up in New York whenever you were up there?
Yeah, dude, that was cool. A really cool event.
So and did you place in that? Because you crushed.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a cool event because I came in third. My brother Jake and I did it 3 years in a row. And like, I don't have any interest in running a marathon, you know, and right. I mean, I've done a couple triathlons, and even that is like a bit further out of my comfort zone in terms of distance. But other than that, there's not really any races that are meant for, like, football is all about short, explosive bursts, you know, and that's the type of athlete I've been for 25 years. And with that, a former college athletes created the decathlon, the D10. It's 10 events, raises money for charity. The hospital of their choice has been Sloan Kettering in New York, so pediatric cancer research. So great cause. In order to participate in the event, you have to reach a certain fundraising threshold. So it's a really cool community. A lot of former college football players, former NFL guys, mainly the finance scene in New York. And dude, it's like a 400-meter dash, football. So instead of a javelin, you're throwing a football as far as you can. Max bench, max pull-ups, like 500-meter rower. If you guys want to mess yourselves up, you row a 500 meters as fast as you can.
Exactly.
But yeah, so it's great, man. It's something fun to train for. You know, it's short enough burst, but it's a long day. You know, you're out there for 3 hours grinding, and it's a great community. You know, you're competing with each other, but you're also cheering each other on.
Yeah. So I found out about that event because some Penn State, like, old football player used to take first in it all the time. Big finance guy in New York. Dude.
Yeah,
I remember looking at that. Yeah. And then whenever you were like, I'm training for that's it, exactly. Whenever I saw you're training for, I was like, yo, take the throne.
Yeah.
That's a brutal event, man.
Yeah. Well, so I mean, I'm not that big of a guy. You know, I'm like 6 foot 190. Mark is probably like 6'3", 225. So I beat all those guys in like the 400, the 800. You know, but things like bench, pull-ups, and row, the bigger and stronger you are, the better you're going to be, you know? So exactly. Mark, like a great 500-meter row is like a minute 30 or less. This dude was rowing like 1:15. The first year I did it, he was rowing so hard, he snapped the handle in half on a Concept 2 rower. I'm like, somebody's got to test this guy's urine. Like that is a freak show.
Oh my gosh, you're not wrong, man. That is hilarious. But you're absolutely right, man. The bigger you are, the more power you're able to produce and really knock some seconds off the clock real quick. Oh my gosh. So, all right, let's back this up. So let's talk about a little business here. You were in DC for a while. And then from here, and I listened to a little podcast of how you actually got into WeWork. I didn't realize that you actually sat down with some dude, and then the CEO of WeWork comes in. It was just like, yeah, I like you. Why don't you come on up here? Which was like just so coincidental, right?
So
walk us
coincidental.
walk us through that, and then like you went to New York, and now you guys moved and have your own space down Austin.
Yeah, dude. So started the company in DC because Jake was at Georgetown, and they had this new concept in Arlington, Virginia. It was WeWork, but they had We Live. It was like apartments above the WeWork, and that's where we had that launch party you came to in 2016. And
Right.
at the time, we had no connection to WeWork. We were like, hey, this seems like a pretty entrepreneurial place. You know, let's live here. It was affordable, fully furnished, so we didn't have to worry about any of that shit. And the CFO of WeWork at the time, a guy named Artie Minson, was a Georgetown alum. Jake went to a Georgetown networking event, met Artie, and was like, hey, yeah, we're building this coffee company out of your building here in Arlington. And Artie's like, that's great. Come see us in Chelsea, our headquarters in Chelsea, New York. Would love to learn more about this. Like, we often invest in startups. So we went up there. Our goal was to get discounted rent at the building that we were living in. You know, like by the end of that meeting, Jake wanted like instead of $1,500 a month, he wanted to be paying $750, you know?
Nice.
So he's in the meeting. He's pitching Artie. Artie's a badass CFO. He was at AOL, Time Warner. He was at Ford for a while, I think. Dude's super legit. And Jake is 23 years old, probably in like a suit that was too big for him. And he's sitting there pitching and telling him about this story and our vision of removing sugar and replacing unhealthy calories with positive energy with Supercoffee. And halfway through the meeting, this guy with long hair and a t-shirt comes in barefoot. Jake's like, who the fuck is this hippie interrupting my meeting with the CFO of WeWork? Like, I got to lock in with this guy. Like, this kid cannot interrupt me right now. Jake goes on, and towards the end of the meeting, the guy was like, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest in your business. I'm going to allow you to live in my buildings for free. I'm going to allow you to work in my buildings for free. Now, please get the fuck out of my office. And it was Adam Newman, the CEO of WeWork. Like he grilled Jake with some questions, but none of it was technical or financial. It was like, what is your vision? What does your brand stand for? You know, very, very philosophical type things. And I guess he liked what he heard. And at the time, the only other We Live was in New York City. So that's how we moved from DC to New York. And New York is, I mean, it's true. Like, if you can make it in New York, you can make it anywhere. Especially in beverage. So we knew that no matter what, whether WeWork was involved or not, our next evolution was for the business was going to be winning New York. So we did that for the last 4 years. WeWork actually just sold their stake in this latest round. So kudos to those guys. I feel like they could use the cash. And then we just moved to Austin, Texas in December of 2020, and we just opened our new headquarters down here.
That's fantastic, man. Congratulations. That is huge.
Thank you, brother.
So why leave New York and why Austin?
Yeah, so we saturated New York. We built a good team on the ground. We still have a satellite office up there, but we got a great distributor. The best distributor in the country is in New York City. They're called Big Geyser. And for us, two things. One, personally, like, I'm not a city guy. You know, I love New York. We grew up 2 hours north of the city. We used to take the train into the city, watch Yankee games with our dad and stuff. So I love the city, but I'm not a city guy. You see me in the woods. I got my bow and arrow. I'm shooting deer. And I was like, Texas sounds cool. And at the time I'm 28 years old. I was like, why not now? You know, like, when I have a family in a few years from now, like, I'm not going to be able to do this. The other thing, and perhaps the bigger reason, is talent. You know, we knew that we were entering this next phase where we were going to raise this round of money, and we're going to need to solve challenges. Like, going from $5 million to $50 million in sales is very different than going from 50 to 500, right? So we leveled up our executive team these last 6 months, and we wouldn't have been able to do that if we weren't in Austin. You know, Austin has a great CPG focus, consumer packaged goods, a lot of talent. We just hired the CFO from Whole Foods. She brought over 2 of her vice presidents. You know, we just got the chief creative officer from Dr. Pepper. They're based in Dallas. You know, so like, we wouldn't have been. New York is like a finance investment banking city. I love New York, but it's not great for what we do.
Right. And I mean, Austin, huge startup industry, or it may, or was, I don't know if it still is, but Austin, Dallas, Houston area.
Yeah, no, dude,
right?
It's blowing up. Yeah, I mean, you got Elon Musk just moved here. Joe Rogan just moved here. Those guys are culture creators, you know. So Tesla's building their factory. Apple's moving a second headquarters. You got Facebook in Austin. So, I mean, people are calling it the next Silicon Valley, but I think that's a little misleading, just because it's way more than tech. You know, it's food and real estate and marketing and creative. Austin is the live music capital of the world. I love music. I didn't know that. Like, it's great. There's music every night.
That's amazing. That's awesome. Congratulations, man. And is
Thanks,
the
brother.
building that you're in right now, was that built for you or did you move into that?
No, we moved into it. So it was fully built out, but we put our own little positive energy spin on it, painted it out, got some cool furniture in here.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me over some pictures to include in this.
For sure, dude. I'd
love a little tour of the spot.
Hell yeah. Dude, gotta get you down here.
You say when. That's it.
Let's go.
I'd love to come visit. All right. So now, as much as I know about Supercoffee, I know about 4 employees. And I don't know if Ray is still with you guys or not.
Hell yeah. Employee number 1, baby.
Awesome. So I know you, Jake, and Jordan, and Ray.
Yep.
And there was a woman from Georgetown that came over and did the little sled marathon with us. Can't remember her name. Yep.
She's since moved on, but God bless her. Love Marina.
Awesome. Yeah, she rocked it. She showed up in Ray's spot and took care of business.
Yeah, she's
so
great.
That's the only people I know. But you just mentioned brought somebody over from Whole Foods. Tell me about the exec team. Tell me about like building the company from you. Well, I mean, you are the head honcho still, but tell me about the formation of putting together the right minds in order to continue to flourish the company.
Totally, dude. So it's absolutely an evolution. It's very iterative, and I mean, I have to be a different leader today than I was 6 years ago. Like the business requires more from me and my brothers, and we've known that as this business evolves quickly, we need to as well as leaders. So we brought on an executive coach. I see a therapist once a week. Like we're really investing in that growth in ourselves, because a lot of founders are not always the right executives when a business gets too big. And for us, like we haven't met that point. We still like what we're doing, and we're sort of hungry for that growth. So today we're 120 full-time employees. And I will say that we've gone through, there's been a lot of lessons, right? Like we had a CFO from 1 million in sales to 5 million in sales. We had a second CFO from 5 million in sales to 50 million in sales. And it's not that those people were the wrong people. They were the right people for exactly when we needed them to be there. And the company quickly outgrew them, and that's fine. Like they're great people. They still have stock in the company, and they helped us get to this phase where we're at today. We never would have been able to hire our current CFO at $1 million in sales. Like we needed to evolve. So like I think that's one thing that's tricky, is like today we're able to attract a new level of talent that we couldn't have attracted 2 to 3 years ago. And that requires us to take a look at the full roster, right? And say, has everybody here evolved with the business over the last couple of years? And do they have what it takes to where we're headed? Thankfully, the answer has been yes in most cases. And even if they don't have the technical experience or the expertise or the knowledge today, if they have that curiosity, we know they're the right person, because they're the people that are eager to grow and learn and figure it out, versus people like I hate hiring people who have been there, done that. Had we hired a CFO who had built a beverage company and sold it before, they wouldn't have cared to work as hard as our current woman is. So that's tricky. And the other good thing that we just learned this year is like people who aren't up for where we're headed, they usually weed themselves out, like because they know how hard this shit is to get here, and they see where we're headed and they're like, fuck, I like love you guys. This is awesome. I'm tapping out. Like go get them without me. Yeah.
Yeah. So you have a full executive team now, taking care of business, running the numbers and everything behind. So I think heard in another podcast you were featured on, you're like, I'm not a numbers guy. You're like, I was in finance. Like, that's not my cup of tea. We have a CFO for that who knows everything else much more in depth. And now you're focusing just all on marketing and partnerships. Is that correct?
Yeah. Yep. So now we close this round. This will be our last round of funding, but I led all of our investor relations, and that's more human connection rather than finance savviness. So I'm glad that that's over, but that's something I was passionate about. It's honestly the same way you and I met, 2 dudes looking to do good in the world, make connections, help each other out. Like that's what fundraising is. You find people who want to be on your team.
Yeah. That's amazing, man. Congratulations on 108 million. Is that
106? Yeah, dude, definitely 100. Ballpark. Yeah, over 100 million raised in this last round, and look, it's going to get us 3 years of growth. By then we should be a standalone company in terms of profitability. Being able to, the business should be able to sustain itself. We're only 40% available in the US today. So we have a lot of runway for distribution and marketing opportunities. Yeah, dude, it's going to be cool.
Dude, that's amazing. 40%. I mean, dude, you have so much runway ahead of you.
I know it. And I mean, you're super close to it just because you've seen us evolve from day one till now.
Yeah.
So it seems a lot bigger than it is, but it's a big ass country. There's a lot of people, we have a 2% unaided brand awareness. So if you ask 100 people what Supercoffee is, 2 of them will have heard of it. So, I mean, that's super exciting. We're doing some cool athlete partnerships now. We're going to use some of this dollars to push those out there. You saw it on IG. We just did that photo shoot with Gabby Thomas. She's awesome. Olympian from Harvard, track star, neurologist, I think, like just a great salt of the earth person. And we got the content from that shoot coming out in the next couple of weeks. I can't wait to share it with you. It's gonna be sweet.
That's gonna be awesome, man. She's a rock star. She really showed up, man. She represented in Tokyo.
She's handling it so well too. Like 2 months ago, before trials, she had 15,000 followers on Instagram. Today she has 250,000. She's going on the Today Show and Good Morning America and signing deals with New Balance and like big time opportunities. And she's humble. She's still hardworking and dedicated. And she's somebody who, like, you could tell she deserves to be here. Like she was made for this, right?
Yeah, that's amazing. Congratulations to her, and congratulations on Positive Energy coming together.
I love it, man. Forces combined, baby. 1 + 1 = 10 here.
Love it. Tell me, I kind of want to just backtrack a little bit to your mom. I want to bring her into this, and I want to think and talk about the values of the company, because I feel like the values that are instilled in you, the work hard and be nice to people, is something that you've probably grown up with. And tell me the values that you hold that maybe have influenced Supercoffee to what they are today.
Yeah. So my parents had me. I'm the oldest, and today I'm 28. Jake's 27. Jordan's 26. So bang, bang, bang. My parents had me when they were 23. So they had 3 kids by the time they were 26, right? And they had no idea what they were doing. And it's funny. My mom was like, "Yeah, Supercoffee is kind of like our family. You just figure it out as you go." That the good news is, like, none of the lessons that they taught us were that intentional. It's not like we had this like structured, regimented life. They're like, treat all people with compassion. If somebody doesn't have as much as you, help them, right? Give them a lending hand. Like, I can't tell you how many kids lived at our house over the years, and not just friends with sleepovers, kids who didn't have better places to go to. My mom would bring in anybody. And I think that played a big part on who we were. And that wasn't always easy. I was like, fuck, I don't want to share a bathroom with this kid I've never met, and but as a 12-year-old, like, there was some tension there. And then today, those are all my brothers and sisters, people who I love and forever have that relationship with, because my mom and dad were so accommodating and supportive. And like I said, we didn't have much. So it's not like they had so much prosperity to share, but they had an abundance of love, and for me, we saw how powerful that was. And that's why first and foremost, we lead with compassion, and we say work hard and be nice to people. You can't have one without the other. I know plenty of hard workers. We just had to let a guy go because he was a hard worker, but he was an asshole, versus people who are nice and don't work hard. You and I both know a lot of folks like that. And unfortunately, sure, you might be a good friend, but you're not somebody that we want on our team. And it's honestly that simple. If you work hard and be nice to people, good things will happen to you. And I don't want people to overcomplicate that. Like, before you go on to any of these podcasts and sign up for any of these master classes and masterminds and all the stuff that people get you to pay for, like, ask yourself, are you working hard and being nice in all situations? Because if you're not, like, nothing can help that. It's like honestly, like nutrition too. People ask me like, oh, what supplements should I be taking? Which vitamins, which minerals? I'm like, dude, until you cut the sugar out and you're eating 5 handfuls of fruits and vegetables and my grass-fed meat every day, don't take any supplements. Like, supplements aren't going to help you if your diet is busted.
Yeah. Hit the nail on the head. You just took my job away from me.
No, we amplify
that simple
together.
Exactly.
Simple, dude.
So what are the values that make up Supercoffee when new employees come in and start to work with you guys? What drives the train? What's the teamwork, the values?
It's funny you say team, man, because we got 5 core values here. It starts with curiosity, right? The ability to learn more, the ability to discover new ways of doing things, to ask questions. Second is optimism. We need to believe in a better future. The third is ambition, not only believing in a better future, but putting in the work to go get it. And it's like, oh, someday Supercoffee could be sold to Coca-Cola. Fuck that. We're going to go buy Coca-Cola, right? Like, be ambitious, like it says so right on your shirt. That's what you're about. We just added a second A to ambitious, and it's ambitious and accountable, right? Like, don't set big goals that you can't achieve. If you're going to set a big goal, go get it, and measure yourself against that. The fourth is compassionate. Treat everybody with respect and love always. And then the third is humility. You don't know it all. You never will know it all. And it's always a journey. The nice thing about those 5 values is they make a beautiful acronym called COACH, and we refer to everybody on our team as coach. So, like, instead of saying "what's up, dude" or "what's up, girl," we say "what's up, coach," and it's like that built-in accountability to make sure that everybody's living up to those 5 values that I just mentioned.
I love that. Not only do you have these words that make your culture, you actually live within that culture by using the terminology, the coach, to different people. So not only is this just something on the wall that you guys are like, oh, those are core values. You truly live them. And I can attest to you actually living those, because everything you just mentioned there is 100% everything that's in your heart. That's beautiful, man.
Dude.
Coach.
I appreciate it. Yeah. No, I mean, that's what you are. That's why you exist, right? You are a coach to everybody, both in the gym and outside of it. And the thing I love about you is, like, you and I didn't know each other. You had no obligation to stay in touch. And our relationship, our friendship that's stayed so strong over these last 6 years is because we believe in what each other's doing, and there's no financial benefit. There's no partnership here. It's like, dude, let's spread good into the world, because that's what the world needs, whether it's one person at a time, whether it's like hundreds of thousands of people, like whatever we can do together. And I don't know, I like that the positive energy attracts, and really appreciate the friendship that we've built, because I love following your story online.
Yeah, man. The law of attraction, right? Put good out, receive good.
That's it, dude. That is it.
It is, man. So what's next? You mentioned Cinnabon. That's coming out.
Oh yeah.
You guys dropped the creamer, which was something new. Dude, I fucking love the creamer.
Let's go.
I do.
Thank you.
And I remember when you were up in New York, I was talking about the creamer to you, and you're like, dude, I just drink the creamer straight up after a workout. You said that, and I was like, well, if he does it, I got to get on this.
Yeah.
Original is my favorite. We have some vanilla and some hazelnut in the refrigerator, because we just got a new shipment a couple days ago. Haven't tapped into those yet, but the original is the favorite. Vanilla is my favorite Supercoffee, because black is no longer. And then, of course, the regular black cold brew.
Love that.
Cinnabon comes out possibly next year. Is there anything else in the product development pipeline?
Oh yeah. So a couple things. In response to COVID last year in 2020, cafes shut down all over the country, right? So people were drinking a lot of coffee at home, a lot more than usual. And what we did was we quickly launched Supercoffee pods and Supercoffee grounds.
Right.
And
I missed that. Sorry.
No, it's all good. It's a new product for us. We haven't really put much support behind it yet. But we're excited about them because it's black coffee, but we add your daily dose of vitamins and antioxidants to it. And then you could add the creamer and get your protein, your MCT oil. So that's a cool product. It's a bit of a departure from our ready to drink bottled coffees. And then going forward, we're not going to get into any fancy new product lines. You're not going to see us launching cereals and breakfast bars and yogurts and things like that. But we are going to get pretty creative with the flavors. We launched a blueberry latte this summer that went bonkers. That thing was so good. And I was adamantly against it. I was like, we're not fucking putting blueberries in coffee. This is a stupid idea. Jordan, don't do this. And naturally, the little brother wins because he's the innovator. He's the boss. And thank God that he did, because he was right again. Like it was awesome. It sold out online in 2 days. So to complement that cinnamon bun in January. So cinnamon bun is going nationwide in Walmart in January. It's a sugar-free coffee, tastes like a cinnamon bun, loaded with protein, MCT oil. We're doing a full breakfast line. So we got the cinnamon bun, we got the toasted waffle. I think it might be called caramel waffle actually. And then bringing back blueberry latte, but calling it blueberry muffin. So literally this big, beautiful breakfast line is going to be every Walmart in the country.
Nice. Yeah, I never got my hands on that blueberry, man, but I know somebody who did, and that's exactly what she said. I think, going to the blueberry muffin, that's exactly how she described it.
Let's go, man. No, it's
little
awesome.
Bro did it again, man.
He did. He's like a little whiz kid. It's crazy. He was a terrible student, and he just chefs up these amazing concoctions.
But can he cook at home? Can he cook outside of coffee?
I don't know. I mean, he burned some stuff on the grill for us the other night, but other than that, like, I don't think many skills.
Right. That's all right. That sounds like a dope line. I do love the grounds. The grounds. What do you have in there? You have the grounds, and you have vitamins or minerals in there, or.
Yep, vitamins and antioxidants. So you get like vitamin A, vitamin B, vitamin D, which is cool. Getting your vitamin E as well, and then L-theanine, which is like a green tea extract. It's an antioxidant that sort of smooths out that caffeine for you. And then we actually add green coffee extract to the grounds, so you get more caffeine.
Yeah, dude, it hit hard. I was like, oh shit! I felt like my level of focus was like next level.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever had like a Fit Aid Focus Aid or anything like that, but I mean, I was just in it.
Yeah, it's funny. I just drank this drink called Focus. It's pretty good. I feel good. Nice. But anyways, so you ask about these concoctions. Let me show you this. Oh my gosh, I'm putting this on recording because I really want this to manifest. So hang on one second. Yeah. So you got I was on the phone today with the CEO of Poopery, and she's awesome. Susie, her name's Susie Baptiste. And we have a naked Poopery bottle. She made this in her kitchen. So Poopery is a massive company, right? You spray before you go, you know the deal. Susie's super successful, and Supercoffee makes you poop. So this is Poopery with Supercoffee smells in it. So we're gonna say we have so much to good to do with this collaboration. Like now we could say Supercoffee makes your poop smell good. Like we could have so much fun stuff. Oh man.
You're not wrong. I mean, it's a perfect partnership.
Yeah. So that literally just happened a couple hours ago.
Full circle.
Our CMO is going to kill me. She's going to be like, Jim, why are you promising people things that we haven't discussed yet?
Right. Super Poopery.
Yeah. Oh, there you go, man. The super pooper.
Yeah. The super pooper. There. Yeah. Will there ever be a little bit more protein in any of the coffee? Will there ever be
I can definitely see that happening.
Super Coffee Max or whatever, want to throw on the tagline?
Yeah, dude, I think so for sure. We funny, the first recipes of Super Coffee had 20 grams of protein in them, but it was too thick. It was more like a muscle milk rather than a protein drink. Right. But our number one audience and our most loyal audience is the fitness audience. So I think there certainly is a segment of the population that wants that upgraded coffee, that enhanced with protein and because I mean 10 grams of protein in a bottle of coffee, that's not a lot of protein. It's enough to make it creamy and taste good without like the lactose and the fat from the milk, but it's not like a post-workout.
Right. Yeah, do you think you would have to go into like maybe a little bit bigger of a bottle so it doesn't get all like kind of clumpy, or maybe like a 16 or 18 or ounce or something like that?
Yeah, I think so. I mean it certainly can be done. One category that we're really intrigued by is energy. I think doing a super energy could be cool. Right now there's a Java Monster, that brown Monster coffee drink. They're the only ones that do this combination of coffee and energy. And right now, I mean, Super Coffee provides 200 milligrams of caffeine. So we are an energy solution, but people don't think of indulgent coffee beverages as energy, So I think that if we give them a more like overt sort of explicit, like, hey, this is an energy occasion, I think we can unlock a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, it definitely knocks. You're not going to be sleepy after any Super Coffee, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. You might poop though.
You might poop, but it's gonna be a super pooper coming at you.
Dude, this is gonna be a
2022.
fun collab.
Yeah, well. So what's next? What's the rest of the year look like for you guys? I mean, you just moved into the facility, what, a couple months ago? Like really kind of a couple months ago?
Yeah, I mean, I've been in Austin since December, but we opened the office in July, so last month and a half maybe
Okay.
now. So what's next, man? Look, when you have big headlines and big valuations and big raises and things like that, like there's big pressure too. You know, the more money you raise, the harder you have to work. You know, the more you have to deliver, and it's a fucking hard year. You know, last year was hard because of COVID. It's hard for everybody, and we just saw now with the Delta variant, grocery foot traffic is down again. I'm sure you're seeing it in gyms too. Yeah. People are all over the country. People aren't traveling the way that they used to, which sucks because like June and July was looking so up, man. We were like, wow, the world's coming back. Let's go. This is going to be a huge year. And we're seeing it in the sales. So we're working our asses off to get back on track. And it's tough because we hold ourselves to an ambitious standard that the rest of the industry doesn't. And it's a lot on the team, you know, to set these goals and miss them is demoralizing. So, I mean, keeping the morale high, letting the team know that we're doing good, but like people don't invest, like we wouldn't have gotten the valuation or the dollars raised had we just produced a industry standard growth rate. You know, like that's not what we're here to do. And I sort of warn people that in their interview process is like, this isn't a 9 to 5. This isn't a normal company. Like if you want to take it easy, this is probably not the right place for you. But I promise you that this is going to be fun and fulfilling and challenging and rewarding and all of the things that you want out of a career.
Yep. Man, yeah, June and July looking real promising. Then Mr. Delta came around. But you guys grind. I know that. And you listen to any other podcast that you've been on, and you talk about you being up in Baltimore and everything like that on the production line. Then whoever drew the straw had to go deliver and everything like that in the morning. You guys certainly grind, but you guys make it so much fun. You guys are just great people, and you guys bring so much positive energy that I couldn't imagine anybody just not being almost just like just feeling the energy you have off you and not feeding off of that and putting it right back in their work. So I imagine your team and everybody down there is just amazing people just like yourself.
Dude, I appreciate it. And that's the cool thing is you're building momentum, right? You're like, it's kind of like how you and I have stayed in touch all these years. You attract people who share the similar values, drive, compassion, things like that. And it becomes a movement. And we're grateful to have 120 full-time savages out there spreading the love every day. So, I mean, I feel very optimistic about the future. We've really embraced this idea of today is day one. You know, like today, looking back on the history of Supercoffee, today's the best we've ever been. But looking forward, it's the worst we'll ever be. You know, like we got a lot of work left to do.
It's a great way to put it. It's a great way to put it. I should end right now, but I want to ask you just one more question that relates back to what your talent is, which is actually the investor relations and getting the people to invest. Because I mean, if people don't know, you have some very heavy hitters, some big heavy hitters who have invested in Supercoffee. Name that sticks out to me is Aaron Rodgers. Don't know if he still is or whatnot, but also Patrick Schwarzenegger and J-Lo and A-Rod.
Oh yeah.
Right? I think those are some pretty big names that people would recognize. But tell us a little bit about how that happened, how that developed, and if seeking more people like that will be part of your plan moving forward.
Yeah, man. So again, like everything, there's no moment or silver bullet of like, aha, this is how we went out and raised all this money from all these amazing people. It sort of happens through like networks and like these cascading weird random introductions. You know, like you meet somebody who's like, oh, my friend is Patrick, or no, Patrick actually reached out to us because he saw us on Shark Tank and DM'd us on Instagram. You know, it's like we've got to all these people differently, and I think the strategy there is it kills two birds with one stone. One, we need to raise money to grow. Two, we need to get the brand out there. You know, we need to drive attention to the brand. And three, we don't have the same budget that Coke and Pepsi and Starbucks have to go pay these people to promote the product. So if an investor is also a celebrity and has influence, like that's the win-win, right? And
Yeah.
Sometimes how we'll structure it is like, hey, Mr. Schwarzenegger, if you give us $100,000, we'll match your 100,000 with 100,000 stock options for these deliverables, right? And then we list out about $100,000 worth of work, whether it's Instagram posts or in-person appearances or live streams or whatever. And ideally, it's that partnership. The reason I like this model is because after those, like the athlete or celebrity will promote at their discretion, right? They feel like an owner rather than an endorsement. People see through those transactional endorsement deals anyway. So they feel like an owner. They want to be a part of this. They want the company to be successful, and every single one of them goes above and beyond, except Aaron Rodgers. Aaron, you got to wake up, bud.
Love it. He's probably going to see this.
Yeah, no. I hope so.
That's amazing. Truly amazing. You must have a great legal team.
Yeah.
And they're like,
we do.
What are we doing? How are we doing this? How are we going to have these deliverables?
Yeah. Oh, it's crazy there. Yeah. And it's like, I hate rules, like, I think that's what makes entrepreneurs like, they're like, why is the world the way that it is? And I think for me, like, oh, we can't do it that way. Like when somebody says you can't do it that way because that's not how it goes, I'm like, all right, let's figure out a way to do this better. Just because this is the way that people have been doing it forever. That means now is the best time to do it differently, because like what's working ain't working anymore. What was once working ain't working anymore. Yeah.
Exactly. You can make anything happen for the right price.
That's it, dude. That's it.
Dude, I know you got to do stuff. I got to do stuff. I'm building out this new facility. We're moving the gym, so I need to.
No way.
Yeah, just down the street or to Austin. You let me know.
Let's go down the street to HQ.
That's right. Moving the gym to a bigger location down the street on 17th and L, so right near Farragut North. So
nice, dude. Congrats.
Down there. Yeah, thank you. It's fun. It's interesting. This new Delta variant coming through kind of scares me a little bit, but hey,
it's a hand we were dealt, baby. Let's go play ball. We're not going to sit at home and cry about it.
That's it. So making the best out of it, turn it into something a little bit nicer, better, rebrand a little bit, have more fun, create a nice little beautiful spot.
Dude, I'm pumped for you. I can't wait to visit. I can't wait to get a Supercoffee fridge in there. Keep you guys stocked up.
Yes, please.
Hold me to it. We're lock it in right here on the show. We're getting you a fridge.
Witness. Perfect. Yes. Fueled by. Yeah, it's gonna be great. Looking forward to always looking forward to talking with you or doing something with you, and that would be fantastic to have Supercoffee fridge in there, stocked up, keep our members caffeinated, energized, keep the positive vibes flowing all over.
Let's go, my man. Well, Carmen, it was a pleasure, brother. Grateful I got to spend this hour with you at lunchtime. This was awesome. Please tell your wife I said hello, and I'll be sure to hit you up next time I'm in DC.
Better believe it, man. We'll keep in contact, and I'll be able to ping you up through DMs and so forth. Real quick, what's the best place for people to get Supercoffee? Because I order mine off the website. But
what you got to stop doing, by the way, we're gonna get you stocked up. We'll get you on some the ambassador affiliate gig. Our website is probably best. Nationally, we're available in Target and Walmart. So if you have one of those near you, always appreciate the support at the store level. CVS as well. But online is right? Usually guaranteed. Yep, Whole Foods in most regions. So yeah, I mean, wherever bottled coffee is sold, the plan is to get Supercoffee there soon.
Yeah. More super vibes, Supercoffee, and more hands to take that 2% up to at least 20% would
baby.
be nice.
That'd be awesome.
Whatever I can do to help, man.
Yes, sir. Keep being you, brother. Thank you so much,
dude.
I will. Thank
see you
soon. Yes,
What's
sir.
your Whoop score, by the way, today?
Today I'm taking a rest day, dude. I ran it up hard yesterday, but I don't know. I'm sub 10 right now. Holy shit.
All right, my man. Dude, send me some pictures of the office space. Let me see
Got you.
that gym. Send me over some things.
Got you, brother. I will. I'll get this flowing, and we will see you soon, man.
Yeah, dude. Thank you so much. Always a pleasure.
Con-
Thank you for
Thank you,
just
brother.
being as awesome as you are and staying in contact and remaining to be humble and just a generous person. Really
Dude,
appreciate
right
you.
back
And
at you.
I always love when I hear about people who know Supercoffee. I can always speak high volume about you and your brothers.
Dude, thank you. You make it easy. You know, you make it easy to stay connected. You're a good human as well. But from the day we met, like we shared that same wavelength.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, my brother. Get back to it. Go conquer your day.
You as well, my man. Have a wonderful
Yes,
day.
sir.
Great to see you in real life.
You too, brother. Peace.
Later, bud.